Welcome to the Business 311 Office 2013 Excel Chapter 1 project. My name is Davis, and today we'll be working on a MS Excel spreadsheet project. So what you have to do first is log in to MyMISLab with your username and password. Once you do that, from the main menu, I've already done it, on the left hand side, look for course materials and click on it. When you do that, it should open course materials. If you scroll down, you'll be able to locate the first Excel Chapter 1 Basics assignment. What you need to do is download the files. So hover over this triangle, click on Options, and then what you want to do is open. Now, you may get a pop-up. If you look up here, it may say pop-up blocked. You just have to allow pop-ups for this website. So now that we have this open, what we have to do is download the files. So we click on Download Files, and as you can see, we can download the instructions and the actual Excel file that we're going to be working with. So once you download them, you'll be able to save them either on your flash drive or on your computer, and then you'll be able to open it. So I'm going to pause the video, go ahead and do that, and we'll get started. Okay, thank you. Okay, now that we've downloaded the file and opened it up, it should look like this. It's an Excel spreadsheet. Jacobs is the author it's referring to. And if you've printed out the instructions or have the instructions handy, it's always good to kind of follow along. So once we've started Excel and downloaded and opened the workbook named exploring _E01 grader H1.xlsx, that would be step 1. Okay, what we have to do is move on to step 2. Now that's to merge and center the title over the range A1 to D1. So here's the range A1 to D1. We just highlight that. A1 to D1, and we want to merge and center. So that's this right here. Just click it. And you see as it merges the cells and centers the title. It's always a good practice to save your work, so I'm going to press Ctrl S or save. Or you can do a file save. File save. So we are using the 2013 version, which is what's required for this project. The next thing we have to do for step 2 is delete the blank column between the hardback and paperback columns. So if you look over here, there's the hardback and paperback columns. We need to delete that. So if we go up here to the C column and we click on it, and then instead of left clicking, we right click on it, and then delete, we'll remove that column. Okay. The next thing for step 4, what we have to do is insert a new row between retail price and price to bookstore. So here's price to bookstore and retail price. We just need to click on the second one, price to bookstore, in the by the number here, not on the actual cell, but over here. So as you can see, the arrow comes up, and we right click, not left click, right click, and then we go to insert. And this will insert a row between retail price and price to bookstore. And what we do is we click on the cell between, and we're going to enter a heading. It's going to be called standard discount. So we just type in standard discount. rate, standard discount rate in cell A14, and in cell B14, right next to it, we type in 0.5. Oh, rather 0.55. And in cell C14, we type in 0.5. And what we do next is format the range B14 to C14 with percent style. So B4, as you can see, it's a dollar sign. We want percent, so highlight B14 to C14. That's these two cells. And then we go up to this number group on the home tab, number group, percent style. So right here is a percent style. We click it, and as you can see, it changes the standard discount rate to a percentage. Both of these are percentage formatted. Okay, moving on to step 5, we need to enter the percent return formula in cell B10. So percent return, we need the formula for B10. The percent returned is the ratio of number of returns, right here, over the gross unit sold. So number of returns over gross units sold. So to do that, we press the equal sign when cell B10 is highlighted, and then we click on number of returns, and then as you can see, it pulls up B9 over, we divide it the gross units sold, which is this cell B8. And then we just hit enter, and that calculates the value. What we have to do is format the results with percent style. So we highlight the cell again, cell B10 that we just did the equation in, and then percent style. As you can see, it turns it into a percent style. And it's percent style with 1 decimal place. So we go up to the home tab number group, and then we want to increase it to one more decimal place. So we click on that, and as you can see, it, instead of rounding it, it was at 22%, it adds the decimal place, so 21.6%. What we want to do now is copy this formula that we have in cell B10, which is this, over to C10. So we highlight the cell and then press Ctrl C, copy, and then click on cell C10, and then copy the formula. You can use the paste function up here, or you can just Ctrl V, and I'll paste it. Okay, we'll move on to step 6. We need to enter the price to bookstore formula in cell B15. So price to bookstore formula in cell B15. This is the price at which you sell the books to the bookstore. It is based on the retail price and the standard discount rate. So in order to do this, we just have to press an equal sign. And what we want basically is the retail price, and we want to multiply that by the standard discount rate. So that's how much essentially we're going to charge the bookstore for the book, the price that we're going to offer to the bookstore. So we'll put a parentheses, and we'll just highlight the cell B13, retail price, and we're going to multiply that with an asterisk by the standard discount rate. And then close parentheses. So that would be the actual discount they get, but what we have to do is include the original cost of the book, which is the retail price. So we can put that before the the expression in the parentheses, we click there right after the equal sign, and we click on the retail price cell again, B13, and then we put subtract the formula. So it's going to be the retail price minus their discounted rate, which we get from the retail price times the standard discount rate. So the discount we subtract from the original price, and we get the price that the bookstore gets from us. We hit enter, and it calculates $11.25. To complete this step, what we have to do is copy the formula in cell B15. So Control C to C15. So we highlight this cell after we press Control C, and then instead of pressing Control V, what it requires is use the paste formulas and numbering formatting option. So if we go up to here on the Home tab, the clipboard group and paste, we want to use the paste formulas and numbering formatting option. So if you look at paste and you look at the hint right here, it says formulas and number formatting. That's the one we want. So it's the clipboard with the percentage and equation. We click on that, and it does a correct pasting format. Okay, so now we're kind of stuck like that, and in order to get off of it, and that's what I had to do also over here, you press escape, and it kind of releases the equation, or the equation from further copying or pasting. Moving on, what we have to do is calculate the net retail sales formula in cell B16. The net retail sales is the revenue from the net units sold at the retail price. So gross units sold minus the return units equals net units sold. So basically, we click in this cell, B16, and hit equals. What we want to do is first calculate the net units sold. So we get the gross units sold up here on cell B8, and we subtract the number of returns. And that will give you net units sold. We want to enclose that in parentheses, so we just put parentheses around the expression. And the net retail sales is the revenue from the net units sold at the retail price. So we have the net units sold times the retail price. So we put an asterisk times the retail price is up here. And then hit enter. So it should be 29,400. What we want to do next is copy the formula in cell B16 to C16 using the paste formulas and number formatting option. So we highlight B16, Control C, and then highlight C16, and then go to paste, numbers and formulas and number formatting. So it calculates it right there, and then press escape to get out of that feature. Okay, for step 8, what we have to do is enter the royalty to author formula in cell B20. So here's cell B20, the royalty to author. Royalties are based on net retail sales, so the equation we used to calculate that, and the royalty rate, and the royalty rate is here. So all we do is press equals. We highlight this cell, net retail sales, multiplied by royalty rates, and hit enter. Now we want to copy it over to cell C20, so we highlight it, Control C, highlight this cell, and again we don't want to just press Control V, we want to use the paste formulas and number formatting option. So go to paste, formulas and number formatting, okay, and then escape. Okay, for step 9, we want to enter the royalty per book formula in cell B21. So royalty per book formula, B21. This amount is the royalty to author amount that we just calculated, divided by the difference between the gross units sold and the number of returns. So what we want to get is the royalty to author over, so divide the difference, which would be difference between the gross units sold, which is again just by clicking on the cell gross units sold, minus the number of returns. And then we close a parenthesis. So as you can see, logically, it's gonna, if it reads royalty per book, so B20 is the royalty to author, and we want to find per book, so we wanted to find the net units sold, the number of books. So we did the gross units sold minus the number of returns. And that which should give us the royalty per book. So we hit enter. It's $1.81. Okay, we want to copy this formula, Control C, into cell C21, highlight cell C21 using the paste formulas and number formatting option. Okay, escape. Okay, we're more than halfway through this assignment. Let me just check the time. We're at 17 minutes. So I guess I can continue. The second part isn't too long. It's more just the formatting and the uploading. So moving on to step 10, we have to apply comma style with 0 decimal places to the range B8 to C9. So we look for, oh, we should probably save, so we just go back to our thing, press Ctrl S or file save. We're saving to the same file with the same name when we upload. So step 10 is we highlight the range B8 to C9. Or sorry, B8 to C9. And apply comma style. So comma style is up here on the home tab in the numbers group. Comma style. And 0 decimal places. So as you can see, all of these values have 2 decimal places. We want to decrease that, so we go to the same group, the number group, and then decrease decimal to 0. Okay, step 11, we want to apply percent style with 2 decimal places to the range B19 to C19. So we find B19, C19, and apply percent style. So in the same number group over here on the home tab, percent style with 2 decimal places. So we want to increase, not decrease, increase the decimal, 1, 2. Okay. Step 12 is apply a counting number format to cell C13. So we locate C13, and a counting number format is in the number group on the home tab. accounting number format, we can go up here to General, and we want to scroll down to Accounting and click on it. Okay, now we're getting into a little bit more of the aesthetic modifications. Step 13 requires us to click cell A7, apply purple font color. So we go to the font color up here in the Home tab, the font group, and then we look for purple. And then apply gray 25 background to darker 10 fill color. So while this cell is still highlighted, we go to the fill color on the font group. And we want gray 25%, probably this one. Background to darker 10%. We click on it, and it matches the other ones. And then we want to select the range A7 to C7. So A7 to C7. And instead of, we go up to the alignment group on the Home tab, instead of merge and center, we want to merge across. So we click on the drop down box arrow and merge across. And that brings the formatting across. So essentially it looks like these. Okay, for step 14, we want to select the ranges A8 to A10. A13 to A16, and A19 to 21. This part gets a little tricky. What we want to do is highlight A8 to A10 first, and then hold down the Control key, and we want to highlight A13 to A16, and A19 to 21. So again, hold down the Control key, A19 to 21. So as you can see, it has these three, all the headings for the rows or the columns. It says to indent the labels twice. So in the alignment group on the Home tab, here's an indent, increase indent. We want to indent it twice, so we click it twice. Widen column A to 23.75. So we click over here on the top column A, and we right click it, and we go to column width, and we want the column width to be 23.75. Click OK. Select the range A7 to C10. Okay, so A7 to C10. The unit sold section, and apply outside borders border style. So once this whole area is highlighted, we go to the font group, and we can look for borders, and we want outside borders. Okay, if we click off of there, we see that it looks almost exactly like the other ones. We press Control Save, Control S. Now the next step is a little tricky. I had to look online for this. We have to select the margin setting to center the data horizontally on the page. So what this means is basically when we print it, if we decide to print it or present it, the data is centered horizontally on the page. It's not actually the data in the cells, but it's how it looks formatted. So to do this, according to the article I read, we go to Page Layout. So on this menu bar, Page Layout, and then Page Setup, and then click on Margins. And then I guess we go to custom margins, or you can use this, alternatively you can use that to look at more options, but custom margins. And then we're in margins, we want to center horizontally on the page. So we're in the page setup. You can use this button to access this, and we want to be on the margins tab, or you can click on that and go to custom margins. So margins, and then you want to center horizontally. And then click OK. Again, step 17 is a little tricky too. We want to insert a footer with the text exploring series on the left side and the sheet name code in the center and the file name code on the right side. There are multiple ways to do this. The way that I did it was, and you notice that when you center the data horizontally, this line shows up, which is good because it's centering the data. To insert a footer, we go to the Insert option on the menu. And we want to insert a header footer. So we click on that, and it opens a different view, the header footer view. Now we're not creating a header, we're just creating a footer, so we want to scroll down. To the footer, and then you see how it's divided into 3 sections? The left side, we want the text exploring series, so we just type in exploring series on the left, and the sheet name code in the center. So to do this, it was a little tricky. I had to figure it out. We're in the home, see we're up here on the menu, we're in the home view. We have to go to the design view, so we click on that. And then if you look over here in this group, header and footer elements, we need in the sheet name code in the center. So here's sheet name code, we click that. As you can see, it has a sheet name code, so whatever our sheet is named, it should pop up here. And then we click in the right side, you see Jacobs. And they want the file name code, so again we use this file name. And then when we click off of it, it'll show the name of our file, exploring_e01 grader. Okay, right now we're in a design view for the header and footer. To get out of this, I couldn't figure it out, so I had to look it up online. You go to View, on the menu, the View, and you want to go to the normal view. Maybe that didn't work. Oh, you can click normal view down here. So, normal view. It takes a little while. Okay, one moment, I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so under the view, we click on normal, and it takes us back to our original view. So now what we want to do is copy the Jacobs worksheet and move the new worksheet to the end, and then rename it as Lopez. So to do this, to copy the whole worksheet, we go down to the tab for the worksheet and we right click it, and we want to copy, move or copy. So move or copy, and it's to the workbook. We want it in the same workbook, so we leave this here. And then instead of before the Jacobs sheet, we don't want to put it before here, we want to put after. We want to click on move to end. And instead of just clicking OK, we don't want to just move the worksheet, we want to create a copy. So we click this right here, create a copy, and then click OK. As you can see, it created a duplicate worksheet called Jacobs 2. We want to rename it, so we right click on it and then rename. And we want to rename it Lopez, so we type in Lopez. And change cell B4 in the Lopez worksheet. So now we're in the Lopez worksheet. The author in B4 to Lopez. And change the Jacob Sheet tab to red. So we go to the Jacob Sheet tab and we right click it and then tab color. We want it red. So red. And we want to change the Lopez Sheet tab to dark blue. So we right click that. Tab color is dark blue. Okay, and it says select options to print the grid lines and headings on the Lopez sheet. So right now we have the Lopez sheet highlighted. We want to select options to print the grid lines and headings. So I believe that's in page layout. So if you click on the menu page layout, you go over to the sheet options group, and then you see how it says grid lines and headings? Instead of just viewing it, we want to print them. Print the grid lines and the headings on the Lopez sheet. Okay, so we want to ensure that the worksheets are correctly named and placed in the following order in the workbook. Jacobs and Lopez. Save the workbook. So we can file, save. And close the workbook and then exit Excel. Submit the workbook as directed. Okay, so I can do that. I'm going to pause the video and then pull up my MyMISLab and go ahead and submit it. Okay, now that we're logged into MyMISLab. We can go ahead and upload the file. I have my upload here. Click on that. So if we move over here to upload completed file and we click on it, we just have to browse for a file. And mine is in, let's see, right here, modified today, the 23rd. Okay, click on that and just open. So we've selected the file, we have to click upload. And it just takes a little while. And then if you look up here, it says your completed file has been successfully uploaded. You must also click the Finish Submit for Grading button to send the file to the MyIT grader for processing. So Finish Submit for Grading, we click on that. It says has been successfully received. So we turn to course. And if we refresh it, see 2 submissions, 100%. So everything was good, and that should be the end of it. We've worked through the Office 2013 Excel Chapter 1 project, and we look forward to working with you on other projects throughout this semester. Thank you very much.